Hey, today I'm going to do an updated review of my Titan T3 Power Rack. Hey, this is Greg with Discovering Strength, the channel focused on all things garage gym. If you like what you see, consider subscribing below. All right, so I've had my T3 rack now for over 4 years. And I've reviewed it several times, and now I want to come back and offer an updated review now 4 years later. I purchased this back in 2020 for about $400 if I am correct. And since then, it has been a staple of my gym. I've used it almost every day for my workouts. All right, so what I have here is the T3 rack. This is the 91-inch tall version, and it's also the 24-inch depth. So this is the narrower of the two options. You can also get this in a 36-inch depth model. When I got this, it also came with a number of extras that are no longer included at the base price point. So this came with the storage pegs. So I think it came with 4 of these. And it also came with the pin and pipe safeties and some band pegs. All right, so the number one thing I like about Titan Fitness in general is that you get more bang for your buck when compared to what I see as the market leader as Rogue Fitness. And the same goes for the T3 rack. When I'm comparing it, I'm mainly comparing it against Rogue's R3 rack. Now as I look at Titan's website, it looks like to get the same thing that I've got, it would cost about $660 to get the tall version, 24-inch depth, and to get the weight storage. Now, if you compare that to the Rogue R3, that similar bundle would be over $800. The Titan T3 rack is super heavy duty. It's got 2x3-inch 11-gauge steel tubing that makes up the majority of the rack. And the quality is fantastic in my opinion. This is a piece that really will last a lifetime. Okay, so a few things that I don't like quite as much and maybe I would do differently if I were to purchase this again. So I have the 24-inch depth version, and really it's just too shallow of a depth to be able to do any work inside the rack. So I would definitely go for the 36-inch depth if I were to do this over again. So the 24-inch depth version means that I almost exclusively do all of my work outside the rack, and I then put on the outside, I have these safety spotters. So I use that to do most of my work. But if you were to get the 36-inch version, I'd give you another foot inside the rack and give you enough room to squat and bench and everything else. You can also see in my configuration that I've used the rear posts for weight storage and that I've got the lat pull down there on the back. So the combination of those two things make it so it's hard to work inside the rack. If I didn't have the lat pull down and if I didn't have storage on the rear post, then I could still do some work inside the rack. So now that I have done so much work outside the rack, I've even contemplated if I did this over again or if I moved to a new location, that maybe I would just get more of a profile collapsible rack that I could mount directly to the wall because most of what I'm doing, I'm just using the outside of the rack anyway. So the next thing is the 2x3-inch tubing is great. It's heavy duty, but if I had to do this all over again, I may go for the 3x3 tubing, just because I've seen some recent products that have come out that have been interesting to me, but most of them were created to be compatible with 3x3 tubing and not the 2x3. Lastly, inflation has caused prices to go up everywhere, and that includes garage gym equipment. And so like I said, I got this for about $400 in 2020. Now you're looking at pushing $700 to get something similar. So that's definitely a drawback. However, it's the same across the board. All right, so the final verdict, I absolutely love the T3 rack. I would recommend it to anyone wanting to incorporate a rack into your garage gym, your home gym, whatever it is. Like I said, it's super durable. It will last a lifetime. But all these things really come down to personal preferences and how you're going to use it. This is a great product, and there are lots of additional accessories, add-ons that you can add to the rack. All of the Rogue R3 attachments are compatible with the Titan T3 attachments, so you can mix and match. All right, so that does it for the updated review of the Titan T3 rack. Let me know in the comments below what you think, if you've used this, what you like, dislike, and if you've got any questions on my configuration, let me know down below, and we'll see you next time.